at the analyst desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now, that game was lots of good fun. And I have to say, it takes some serious guts to pull out Aurelia mid against Faker himself in the mid lane.
I'm pretty sure he knows all those matchups.
Yeah, but he gave away his counter pick. The Olaf, he just revealed that to everybody in the world.
Well, that's going to be the secret, I guess, moving forward. Just on blue side, ban Olaf, first pick Aurelia, done deal.
On the serious note, I would like to give Warlock some credit because I think he's been surviving just fine. Like, besides his W on the creep yesterday, I think he's doing just fine. So that's a player you might look out for in the far future.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the way they approached this game was absolutely good fun. And they hit on it multiple times throughout the cast. The tenacity in which they approach the game, looking for those fights and definitely always looking to make moves and improve throughout the game. But I do want to take this opportunity to check in with you guys on Twitter and see what you want to ask the desk. First up, Juan E274 writes, what's the reason we are seeing Azir so much at Worlds, even though he's been nerfed?
Azir just has one of those kits where if you're allowed to play it in a team, it's kind of similar to Thresh, that he's always going to be relevant. And even though he's the lowest win rate champion in solo queue at the moment at about 42%, just his pattern in a team environment and what you can play against it is very limited. So you're still going to see him despite the nerfs.
Also, just his passive allows you to control pressure around objectives so well because you can stop their minion waves from moving forward. So it's pretty much just always a relevant pick.
Yeah, I do not envy the position of our balance team when it comes to Azir. Because people will be angry about it who are Azir mains who see 42%, and he's so difficult to play right now because he's easy to gank with the movement speed reduction, and he's not as rewarding to play, but he's still so rewarding in the highest skill cap.
Yeah, top of competitive play, bottom of solo queue is a tough spot to be in when you're looking at balancing. Next up, at M Kingston 782 says, do you think Mordekaiser will make an appearance, and will it have as much an effect as we expect? I'm coming to you with this one, Yamato.
Well, I think Mordekaiser, once again, is a champion that has, like all the juggernauts have this pattern of having very absurd strength, but very obvious weaknesses. I feel Mordekaiser is a type of champion that kind of changes how you have to play the game completely. That is why we kind of are not going to see it in the group stages. But as you're coming into the playoffs, I think some teams will dissect this pick.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that in a best of 5, if you're going to take this pick, you can take that risk and not immediately lose. Best of 1's a little bit hairier. Everybody's obviously desperate to get to the quarterfinals. And he changes the game so much because he accelerates the pace. He dominates dragon control. And then once he gets that dragon, he dominates sieges. And then you snowball the game out of, crazily. But if there's a counter pick, I wouldn't chance it in a best of 1. Just go for it in a best of 5.
And by virtue of being a melee champion, he completely changes the landscape of the team that he needs to have around him, which is another point towards maybe not wanting to chance it in best of 1s. Finally, our friend Black Anola asks, do you think a non-Eastern team has a chance to make it to the finals this year?
Ooh.
Yes!
No.
I like the gusto behind that.
Well, shout out to Black Anola there on that one.
It's like I'm hoping that my curse continues, but it's just how the groups are set up with EDG and SKT coming out of groups on one of each side. I cannot imagine a Western team beating these teams.
Yeah, and I know Black Anola is a big TSM fan, and as I have previously advised him on Twitter, why not just be a fan of a good team, and then you can be happy. So, that'd be my continue.
All LGD fans right now are actually let down today.
Just be an SKT fan. And you know what? I can give that, as a KT fan myself, I can give that advice because I have known nothing but heartbreak in that particular matchup.
Yeah. I think, though, your point about the fact that with the way the groups were drawn, any team is going to have to go through either SKT or EDG, given that they actually make it out of their group, which they most likely will, in order to make it to the finals is a tall task and an unfortunate road for a lot of teams who have their sights set on the finals. Well, as we speak, Europe's H2K Gaming is gearing up to face the LPL powerhouse Edward Gaming. We'll be right back with a look at that matchup, so don't go anywhere.
Bang low, so is life. Wolf going for the bloodthirsty kill here. Bangy, there's Repel. Does he get the execute? He does. A little bit of damage at the undertow. Meanwhile, playing Marin with the kill. It was so close.
Look at the outplay, but suddenly 007 here.
Marin caught in the mid lane, though. There's a knockup. This might be another kill for BKT. Oh, he's not gonna... Oh, he made it! Flash over the wall with that flame spitter. Gets himself a kill on Lloyd. 007 knocked up, and Faker is going after G4. Yeah, Nexus goes down and SKT takes it just like we thought. GG.